Welcome to another Thrumnal video review. This is Thrumnal, and thank you for joining me, my Thrum Knights. Now, we're taking a look at Generations Springer. I know it's been out for a while, but I, do enjoy this figure. It is quite gorgeous. Very IDW, great design, great molded detail, beautiful paint that was used for the body. Not very much, but you got the tires, you've got the silver piece there, the gorgeous silver down the top, the tampographed Autobot symbol that's right there by my thumb, painted over the edge of the headlights. This is painted and this is painted over green, which it's a little on the off side, but not entirely too bad. Molded detail and sporadic pieces throughout robot mode as well, but nothing in the back. But there's the bottom, visible head syndrome right there, but not up bad. A little bit of green. That's all robot mode, but all in all, rolls quite nicely. And some of the areas don't close all that great, but, for what it's got to do from car to helicopter mode, I have to give it credit. Plus robot. Which is nice. I mean, this is a true essence of what Springer should be. There is, not really much to complain about. Let's take a look at his accessories real quick, which is this sword for robot mode. However, it has storage in vehicle mode. Lift this up, take the sword, making sure this tab goes just about touching the gap edge there, making sure the tip is about where the joint is for what we'll use in helicopter mode later. There's a tab. Let's try it over here. There's a tab. Let's see. There's a tab there and a slot in the back of the gun, or the sword, right there. Slide that down so the tab goes into those two slots there, and it holds it in quite nicely. Hinders nothing underneath, which is nice. And he has his gun, which is a double-barrel missile launcher, which is absolutely awesome. Top and a little bit of the sides are picked out in silver, which is nice. 2 ports, which we'll talk about in robot mode. And it's one of those push-fire missiles, and each detent, you can stop it and fire only one of them at a time, which is nice. I pushed a little hard there, but you can do one, and if you push the second time, you'll get to 2. And it's all based on how fast you push it is how far it'll go. This one's one of the better ones, which is not bad. The gun itself has a hinge for the other vehicle mode to get out of the way, so when you plug it into where it needs to go, it fits better. And it also facilitates a gimmick in this one where you have this port here and this port here, so it's up to you where you want to put it. I like it back here because it looks like it comes out of here more. And it does have the articulation for side to side and up and down. So it looks like it's intentional, sort of like Day of the Wreckers type deal, which is nice. I just wish these clicked into place in the 2 zones where it sits for the spoiler, but what are you going to do? And take that off. Size comparison. Here is a figure I just recently reviewed. Let's shrink this up a tad so you can see. Sorry for the shaky camera. And voila, there's your size comparison, which isn't bad. I mean, he is a Voyager versus a Deluxe, but I don't really have another Voyager here. But, it is what it is. Anyways, now down to transformation. And we will get to it. Let's see, where do we want to start? Okay. We're going to start right here, moving this panel. There's a peg right underneath here. If you push in here and pull, that'll unpeg there. That peg right there goes into that port right there. Bring this around, bring around the top piece of the spoiler till it thud. It's like a thoop or a thud. Right there, do the same thing on the other side. Pull that out, there and down. Bring this around, stop moving. Not ready for you yet. Bring you there. Stopping right there with those for now. Split from here which is supposed to tab via here and here. And it's supposed to tab here and here, but that doesn't really tab right in there and right in there. It doesn't really tab very well. Bring this down, down. This one, on the other hand, has a tab in the hinge unit right underneath here, plus a tab up here. Pull the windscreen out of the way, and there's that little tiny tab right there that comes out of that slot there. And then you're going to bring this whole thing from here. This tab is going to go into that slot right there, because he is a triple changer, so we're going from car to helicopter, just in case I didn't mention that. Then we can take here, we're going to take this panel right here, which is a little harder to do on mine. It's still stiff after all these years. Is get your nail under here and work this. And slide this out, like so. Slide this, should be able to, there we go, pull it up a little bit more. Slide this all the way around, sort of like a wheel cover. Now it's like a machine gun. Now we do that again over here. Come on. Slide that out there, keeping that tabbed in. Yes, if it does come untabbed, there's a slot and a port there. Keep that on both sides tabbed in. Bring this one fully out. Won't go that way, but it'll go this way. Bring that there. Clip. Bring these all the way. Shift the shoulder. Well, what will be the pectoral and shoulder section, bring that down all the way so it's flush against that section. And then what we're going to do is we'll pull, there's a hinge here and a hinge here. We'll pull this way, making sure the hands don't move. And then there's a port and tab slot. I shouldn't say port and tab, it's more of a slot and tab. Focus, slot, and tab. Right there. Bring this windscreen, or the side windows and part of the hood, down and around. Cover that, which is nice. Come down to the bottom. Untab this section here. Now these can stay down, because these are now wheels for landing gear. We're going to bring this section here on this hinge up so that this tab and that, oops, this tab, that slot will meet there. And then I think it's 2 clicks and brings that legs down right there. Straighten this tab, which is whole section right here is considered a tab, and that port right there will lock into place. Right there. Now bring the top parts of the wings back there. Now you have the back rudder piece there. Rudder. Not rudder. I'm not a helicopter guy, so don't shoot me for that. And make sure that's all tabbed into place. All right, now we go in here. There's a little tiny lip right there to get your nail on, which is nice because that sits in quite deep. Yeah, they're not rolling wheels, but they're molded into place. And he's all... No, wait. Can't say he's all done because you need his rotor, which is great because the sword is awesome. Come up here. Drop it on the floor. Hold on. Bam! Got it. All right, we're good. Come up here. Split this right there. Because there's a... Camera, stop moving. Alright. There's a port, tab, and the alternating zigzagging pattern will just clip in. Split it apart so it unhinges itself. And they're down like this, down like that. Bring this middle section, which tabs into a port right there. Any one of these gears will do it. Bring it up. Then there's that little tab and a port that we used for the swords, but the tab on the blade. Bring that up. Plug it in. And now you have a beautiful propeller that works. It propellers. You can do that all day long. Just all day. Anyways. Now, there is storage for this in this mode. Put this all the way, tuck it back all the way in. Now, go onto the underbelly. There's these two ports, tabs, not ports. I'm doing it again. Angle that back at the 45 where it's fully down. You have those two tabs. It's like a slot setup, but it's a little difficult because you got to get into that groove. Stop focusing on Mikey in the back. That port right there. And, oops, it's too far back. Bring that in, slide it up. Come on. Clips right in, because there's that nook shape right there for the nose cone. Or the centerpiece of the helicopter. Front piece, centerpiece, something like that. Hello. Focus. There we go. Ta-da. Molded in detail throughout there, which I didn't notice before. But, yeah, there you go. Springer in helicopter mode. Now, we'll just take this off for now to do a comparison in helicopter mode, which I will fix the other leg. There we go. Or the rotor. And him in... Oof. I'm really doing a number on this poor camera today. Bring this back a little bit. And most people have, you know, the Titans Return figures. And I brought in Trigger Happy for a size comparison. I mean, get them both in frame here. Not bad. Absolutely quite like this figure. And on to robot mode. Alright, let's take this. We're going to take this off. Unplug that. Fold that straight back up. And then zigzag the clips. Pop in the port. Put that off to the side. And where to start? I'm going to work with the upper body. So we'll just take this panel off here. Take this. Untap it from the top. And just get it down to there. Now, making sure that the wheel stays straight out for now. And we're going to slide up the head. And get it where his chin... Focus. Where his chin is touching as far down as it can go on that little gray plate of itself. Separate the chest piece from there. Now this is where it gets a little on the tricky side. The whole head has to pass through that cavity straight through. Right through there. And then the wheel, which is the little groove right there, to tuck it into the chest plate. Now, bring this, pretty much collapse it straight to the back, like so. Bring his head up a little bit. Bring up this tab will go into that slot there. Slot. Bring it up, both sides. Bring it up, put it in. Bring this down a bit. Open up this panel here. Bring out the fist. Close up that. Now you're going to disconnect that tab from earlier and there. And then we're going to bring up one detail I will leave out for a second. I will get to that in a little bit. Bring that tab out there. Bring this down. It's pretty much the same thing all the way around. Now his arms are a little bit maneuvered. Now to work on the bottom, otherwise we're going to leave him as a mermaid. Or merman. Bring up his shin pieces. Actually, I'm going to leave those down for a second so you can see something. Split the legs. not the feetsies. Split the legs. There's a tab and a slot. And now there's a slight little clip there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this back section here, bring it down, and then bring out the heel spur. I'll do that again a little bit better over here. Bring this down all the way, because this whole section right here slides down on a little slider, which also in turns moves the wheel a little bit. And then grab in one of these little nooks and pull out the heel spur there. I like to take the leg for this part, come around here, and then take that and tuck it in. I don't think it's official on the transformation instructions, but that's something I like to do. Then bend the knees proper, and yes, they are nice and clicky. Bring up the knee spikes. I know words, I'm just messing them up today. And you have Generation Springer in robot mode, and he's a big boy. Let's quickly get in and take a look at the head sculpt. Focus! He does have a great head sculpt, a little bit of green on the sides, gray face. Would have been nice if they are a little yellow on the sides. Would have been nice if they turned around and actually painted the crest a little bit, but... And he has glorious light piping, as you can see. But, you know, they have them pretty much stock like this. Some people might like it, but officially, IDW, we're going to go bring these up because they tab a little difficultly. Right underneath there with that tab there, but slide that up, rotate it out a little bit. He does have missile racks or ports all along the side. I wish it was picked out in paint, but again, oh well. Now, let's take a look at articulation. He has up and down, not really any head pivoting. Whoops. Not really any head pivoting, but he does have up and down and swivel side to side. I mean, it is a ball joint, but due to the way that the cup works around his neck, it doesn't really allow, bumping the camera again, for too much head movement. However, you have great range of motion here via a pin system. Straight up hinge, you have full 360 of the arms. It is a ball joint, but you have like just a little bit of there, but hinge mostly. You have a bicep swivel. 90 degrees of what feels like a ratcheting, or it could be a faux ratchet. No, it's actually got a ratchet pin right there. So, yeah, it's quite nice on the ratchet elbow. You have a little bit of side-to-side movement, but you also have wrist swivel. I mean, that's due to transformation, but a lot of toys today should take note of, you know, or they should take note of how to put swivel with a pivot. Because some figures, such as Rodimus and Blowpipe, can benefit from that. He has waist swivel, although the backpack gets in the way. I mean, if you disconnect the backpack, you get a little bit more out of the waist swivel. But other than that, it's pretty much stock right there with the back the way it is. He does have limited back movement to his legs. But again, you move it out, you can get a little bit more, but that's about it. With that, get his arm out of the way. You have that much forward movement. You have the splits, which isn't bad. And you have a thigh swivel. And you have a little bit of toesies and the heel spur for up and down movement there. A little bit of wiggle there, but no ankle pivot at all. It's a great figure nonetheless. And let's see here. Stand, man, stand. He does have the ability to hold his gun like he should. he does have the ability to hold his sword, as he should. And some great poses you can get with him. I mean, he is a phenomenal figure in my book. Does he belong in your collection? Absolutely. If you're a fan of IDW or just a fan of a decent triple changer, he is one of the best. Also, you have the ability to use 2 ports on the gun stand. You can use the top port here, which has a nook for it, and you can turn it into a front bayonet style. Or you can turn around and put it underneath, right there, for a underslung bayonet, which doesn't look half bad. A little weird, but okay. And you also have the ability for storage. You have one port there, 1 port there, 1 port there. I like to put the sword up here, take the gun, port it into his flap, and sometimes there, but I more or less place the gun there, flatten the flap up a little bit there, and keeps it off to the side a bit, which is quite nice. You can also reverse it where you can keep the gun up there and put the sword down here. The sword sticking off would be like way over here, and obviously, you know, that right there, but sticking it off there as well if you want. Yay, storage! Anyways, but, you know, that's my opinion. Let's see here. Put his weapons back into his hands. We'll do a size comparison, and we will be out of here. Now, get him into a decent stance at least. We have... Can we get them both in shot? Can we get them all in shot? Can we? And there is Hot Rod and Trigger Happy with Generation Springer, which I do say looks great together. I would like to see a Headmaster, Titan Master version of Springer, but I doubt they'll give us a decent triple changer of this Accord. But I know there's Optimus Prime, who turns into his truck mode and into a jet mode, which is a recolor first release of Octang. And you also have Megatron, which is a tank jet, which is also Blitzwing. Retool recolor first. Hasbro's getting good with that stuff. Anyways, does he belong in your collection? Absolutely. I've said that before, and I'll say it again over and over. But anyways, enough of me babbling. It has been fun. It has been real. This has been Thrumnal. And remember, you're not only as old as you feel. Remember, subscribe, like, comment. All right? And have yourselves a great one.